Yeah? You mind if I record or? That's good.
How you feeling there?
Good, right here. Another Monday.
Who that on camera?
Huh?
Who's that?
Oh, it's the Justin Bieber. He gave me the sticker.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Hey, come with me. The help I know. The help I know. Beautiful morning, you're the sun of my morning day. Now that I want it, who can I turn to?
Thank you.
You're the help I know. Bro,
Morning.
good morning.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Oh, there you go. Hey.
What's good? What's
What
good?
up, man? How's it going?
I'm alright. What's going on?
Did we get that complex kind of footage from Sam? Could we call him?
Which one called it? Stan. I hit him up. He was saying something about he kept the footage to came for the race. I told you
I wanna wake up with you in my beautiful morning. Who can I turn to? No other help I know. No other help I know. I wanna wake up with you in my beautiful morning. Who can I turn to? No other help I know. No other help I know. No other help I know. Father, thank you for bringing us together this morning. Thank you for starting this week off. Thank you for waking up. Thank you for the oxygen. Thank you for the food. Thank you for the clothing. Thank you for the shelter. And thank you for sending your son to die for us.
Gotta give thanks, man, every day.
The truth, the way, and the light. There is no other help that we know. Yahshua, Christ, in your son's name, amen. So what we're doing is working on training, working, developing, going from cotton to developing the cotton to developing the clothes. We do a lot of research with.
Do you know what? See what you just said there? That's important, and it's, I don't know, it's a frequency thing, because lately I've been thinking on that, or resonating on that frequency where, you see, when it comes to drip and garms and all that, it's all cool, like wearing shit that's lit and on trend, and like you go out and people look at you like, yeah, you're lit or whatever, you can spend money on clothes and whatnot. But if you're really lit, then your clothing needs to be sustainable. And do you know why I say that as well? Because I saw a thing, yeah, like, so the World Cup, the Football World Cup's going on right now in Qatar, right? And everyone like, I saw it on the media in England, everyone was like, we should boycott watching the World Cup because of human rights issues in Qatar. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of it. I'm not a politician, yeah? But I saw some interesting information online, and it basically said the same shirts that the England football players wear, which are manufactured by Nike, the workers that put them together in those factories were paid something like 10 pence an hour. Do you see what I'm saying? Again, don't quote, the figures aren't necessarily important here, but they were paid an extortionate, almost slave-like wage. Do you see what I'm saying? To produce the same shirts that the England football millionaires are wearing to the World Cup. If you think you're a king and you're lit and you got P and all the rest of it, but, you know, a slave made your clothes, that's fucked up.
Military clothing with Yeezy, Helmet Lang, Ralph Lauren, as you can see, Balenciaga, We really like to cut the Balenciaga pieces, and that's the reason why we work with them a lot. And then applying it to just be, you know, a uniform. Like this is a uniform you're wearing. It looks super fresh with the grays and everything, and the white sneakers and everything. That's like just like a hood basic right there. And say like this jacket that I'm wearing right now, I took like a lot of ideas and we mixed it together. It's almost like the Pixar jackets.
I like that jacket.
Taking a ripstop, because usually if you get a bomber, they do it in this nylon, but we're using biodegradable fabric, so everything had to be this dry fabric, so it doesn't create landfills, it just goes back into the earth. And then we just kept working on the cut over and over, and then just put the hoodie with it. You know, you never know when you might want to just throw your,
Oh yeah.
you know what I'm saying? You see this coat? You know what I'm saying? So what we have planned for the week is we have a meeting with civil engineers this week and theologists for the new Donda curriculum. Donda is now the Donda Theology Engineering University. We need people who have vocational training skill sets. This is the way we bring our country back into power. We have to train our children to be able to bring physical things we need in America, right here. You know, we're not gonna talk about what we're not gonna do. We're only gonna focus on what we're gonna do, on what we're gonna do right here.
That's a fucking bar, man. That's a fucking bar. We're not gonna talk about what we're not gonna do. That, do you know what? That's something that so many of us can and should apply to our lives. You know, like fear is the biggest killer of dreams. My boy said that to me today. And it starts from like your words. Words are powerful. Like, so when he said, we're not going to talk about what we're not going to do, talking about what you're not going to do just makes no sense. It's consuming time and energy on something that's not going to actually happen. So you only talk about what you're going to do. That, yeah, I fuck with that.
Right here in America. The reason why I'm announcing that I'm running for president is I want the FCC to look at my money. If the FCC was looking at my money, there had been a possibility that Adidas wouldn't have went into JP Morgan and froze my account and put a $75 million hold on 4 different accounts. I went from being a multi-billionaire to not being able to use my Apple Pay. 4 nights ago, I couldn't use my Apple Pay because somehow Adidas was able to legally go in and freeze my money. And when I see this, I think, well, if this could happen to me, this could happen to other Americans. And for what? You know, this can happen to an American.
Do you know how deep this is, what he's saying? Do you know how deep this is? And do you know what, yeah? A light bulb moment has just gone off in my head. What he's talking to, and I don't know, like, the thing is, you never know what side of the fence celebrities are on. Always takes, like, it's difficult to trust celebrities. Like, there's a lot of what this guy says that resonates with me, and you can only really go off energy more so than anything. Like, you can vibe and connect with someone's energy more so before you can connect with their words or their actions even. So we'll take that at face value and we'll say, like, the energy resonates with me. Whether or not there's ulterior motives, I don't know. It's not my story, it's his story. So I'm going to take what I take from it, and I encourage you guys to do the same. However, what is being spoken about right now, what is about to break down, is social credit scores, where you get penalized for your thoughts and your opinions, basically. And your credit score can be reset based on you saying the wrong thing or you having the wrong opinion on whatever that government curated narrative is. And that happens in parts of the world, so I don't want to hear it's like no conspiracy theory, or it can't happen in England, or it can't happen in America. Like, this shit already happens and there's a precedent to it. Do you know what I mean? But it's very appealing to whoever is in charge of a large number of people to be able to have control over their resources and their finances and their access to finances based on them following a curriculum from a young person's perspective at school, or a media-led narrative from older or adult person's perspective. It's the same thing, really. And that's what he's talking about here. People, everyone needs to understand what's going on here. Like, this is some deep shit. This is some deep shit. Like, we can go in. What he's basically saying is a corporation can go into your bank account, freeze your money because you said something that doesn't conform to a traditional or government-fed narrative.
That didn't even steal anything, that didn't even hurt anyone. This could just happen to you for saying the wrong idea out loud, for expressing yourself, for expressing frustration. How many of you guys have been at a job and you were frustrated with a manager or a situation, and you didn't want to say anything because you didn't want to go back to your dad? You might be taking care of your dad. You know what I'm saying? He might be elderly. And this person at your job can treat you a certain way because you're not going to lose that position because you know you got to take care of your dad. So you deal with a lot of things. You know, you saw what Adidas is trying to do. They showed you the reason why I put in the termination notice to Adidas originally a couple months back is they were trying to steal my company from me and steal my designs. They hired my lawyer. They paid the lawyer, Equan Rowe. They paid this lawyer to sign off my IP, North St. Chicago Psalms IP, to Adidas. This is a major company doing this to a major person in front of everyone. So what happens behind closed doors? If that can happen to Ye, what can happen to you? To your grandparents, to your parents, to your children, to your cousin, your nieces, your nephews. This is the reason why Jesus has to sit at the throne. And in this Christian company, this Christian country, that's a Freudian slip because we are the youngest startup in history. You know, America, this is a Christian country that has to be ran with strong Christian values. Not this cafeteria, pick and choose what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's take the topic of life. Yes, I'm about life. I'm about life. Because what's the opposite of life? Does anyone know what the opposite of life is?
Death.
Death. I am very much about life. I am not about death. It's promise, but that's in God's hands. But we need opportunities. We need to be able to give choices because people are afraid to bring people into this world. We feel like we don't have the resources to be able to bring children into this world nowadays. But there's more than enough resources for people to be happy in this world. And as Americans, we have to show, we had a vision.
That's the actual fact. Do you know, I had that exact conversation with some of my boys up to this week, where the conversation was around people aren't having kids anymore, or people would like to have kids, or they're thinking about it, but they're like, actually, A, I don't think I can afford to have kids from a resource perspective, but B, there's so much madness going on in the world, I don't feel like it's the right thing to bring a child into the world.
Vision of the future in the 60s, and all these inventors were pushing this vision, and somehow we started to just go into a loop. With this vision, we can create platforms that make people feel like it's okay to bring a child into this world. So as the future head of state, this is my perspective on life. Give opportunities for more life. Like my man Drake says, more life. Give opportunities for more life. This is the thing. You can't get so much on taking away opportunities until you give other opportunities. And me, I realize that. I am a strong Christian leader and father, an inventor and a visionary. And I realize you can't tell someone, don't eat this food that's killing you, without giving them another plate of food.
That's a
We've
fact.
got to show them that it's something better. When they see me in Complex Con yesterday and saw the cut of this jacket, you knew at that point it was something better. And it takes all of this study. But we do that same kind of study with food. We do that same type of study with shelter. We do that same type of study with education and curriculum, because I am the son of Raymond West and Dr. Donda West. I am the offspring. I'm 45 years old, and it's time to step into the role to my bloodline, these educators. Ask anybody that had my mom as a teacher, how much she inspired them, how much they loved her. That very love is what we have to give. People of all walks of life come up to me. They come to me at the hotel, they come to me in the streets, and sometimes they're hurt by ideas, things that I've said that people won't say out loud, and I just give them a hug. And then they start to say to me, hey, the very things that you said and what you're talking about is actually being proven by the way you're being treated. And, you know, I just want to give, I know a lot of people are going through a lot of hardships, but I especially want to talk to all of my family at Adidas. For so many years, we've put together incredible work and incredible designs to change the game. You know, when we did the foam runner, people from Mercedes-Benz called us and said, this is the design of the year. We are a leading design organization. When we designed the McDonald's box and got Nato Fukasawa, the lead designer of Muji, to design this box, I know that Johnny Ives and Mark Newsom saw that, the Apple designers. I know that you guys in the design world see what we're doing. So at Adidas, what you're doing with the price points, with the Demna collaboration and Balenciaga collaboration, it's not right. It's $1,000. It's $2,000. You have Demna in a golden cage. Everyone knows, and every designer knows, other than Ray Kawakubo. But unless you Ray Kawakubo, you know that Demna's our Ray. Ye is a Ray also, but Demna's our Ray. Ray Kawakubo is the creator of Comme des Garçons. Unless you Ray Kawakubo, everyone knows that Demna is the Ray Kawakubo of our generation. And at Adidas, to take what he's doing and put it inside of a $2,000 box, so it's only for the rich people, that mentality is played out. It's a dinosaur mentality, and it's only a matter of time till we get hit with an iceberg. We have to raise our consciousness. And how do we have people scamming, selling dope, selling messages of death in order to buy a jacket for $5,000, $6,000 and take all the celebrities and we push that? I'm not pointing fingers because I was doing the same thing until God brought me down to a place where I can really serve him. Because if I'm sitting on any kind of high throne that he didn't give, then I'm not in full service to him. All of the things that got taken away from me, I'm so thankful for that because I get to serve God.
I hope you didn't sleep on what you just said there. And it's basically putting a item of clothing at a price point of like $1,000, $2,000, pounds, whatever, automatically alienates a certain demographic within society, i.e. those who aren't wealthy, which is 98% of the population, right? those who might be able to obtain it, not the wealthy, but ones that have been put in a position to eat a few dollars off entertainment, like your rappers, they've got it. And they're going to perpetuate an image and a narrative that tells the people on the street, in order to get it, you have to do this. But the point he's making is the conversation doesn't even need to go there if the item was affordable in the first place. The fact that it's $2,000, pounds, euros, is already going to instigate crime behind that. And they know this. There's no other culture other than the hip-hop culture wears loud jewelry. No other culture. No other genre of music or entertainment or anything in the public eye other than hip-hop has its protagonist wearing loud jewelry and overt designer labels. Like, when was the last time you saw a pop singer or a country singer or a soul singer? You ever see them wearing a Mary or a bit or Gucci across their thing, Balenciaga across their thing? You never saw it. It's only in our culture, and it's so damaging. It's so damaging.
God better. So going into Thanksgiving, I know the people at Adidas are not going to have the best Thanksgiving. I know that they're not going to have the best Christmas. But if any way I could indemnify what they've done, even though they took that IP, they hired lawyers to sign it over. I promise everyone out there, those designs, they still good by me. Those designs still good by me. I know y'all saying, we not gonna buy them unless Shay got them. If y'all want those designs, they still good by me. I promise you, I can guarantee you one thing. On Thanksgiving and on Christmas, North, Saint, Chicago, Psalm, they gonna all have a good meal. And that's what we do it for, our families. So I'm telling you, this Christmas, this Thanksgiving, whatever Adidas wants to drop, and you know that that was a design that we put in, those are good by me. And hopefully this can like heal, this can heal some of the bleeding. Also, I know another thing is, for everyone in contracts, I know that this will never happen again in history. There will never be a situation where people end a multi-billion-dollar deal off of a tweet. Gotcha. Gotcha. So I would like to thank everyone that was involved with this negotiation. Thank God no one was hurt in the process. And I feel free.